guys, and welcome to another Minecraft GA Stadiums results video. A big weekend of football as well as two hurling games. Let's jump right into them. Up first we have Limerick versus Laois in the Tailteann Cup quarter-final. Limerick opened the scoring with 3 points in the first 3 minutes. Limerick finished the half in the lead 10 points to 9. Limerick opened the second half scoring with 4 points 11 minutes in. And the game finishes Limerick 14 points, Laois 114. So a good comeback victory for Laois, who now move into the semi-final. The final score, Limerick 14 points, Laois 114. Up next we have Cavan versus Down in the Tailteann Cup quarter-final. Down opened the scoring with a point in the first minute. Down finished the half in the lead 7 points to 9. Cavan opened the second half scoring with 2 points 7 minutes in. And the game finishes Cavan 15 points, Down 117. So a win for Down over Cavan. That means Down are into the semi-final. Final score, Cavan 15 points, Down 117. Up next we have Meath versus Wexford in the Tailteann Cup quarter-final. Meath opened the scoring with 8 points in the first 14 minutes. Meath finished the half in the lead 112 to 3 points. Wexford opened the second half scoring with a point 3 minutes in. And the game finishes Meath 223. Wexford 12 points. So a massive win for Meath over Wexford. Meath are now into the semi-final. The final score, Meath 223, Wexford 12 points. Up next we have Derry versus Clare in the All-Ireland Championship. Derry opened the scoring with 2 points in the first 5 minutes. The teams finished the half level, 9 points to 16. Derry opened the second half scoring with 3 points 9 minutes in. And the game finishes Derry 120. Clare 113. So a good win for Derry over Clare. The final score, Derry 120, Clare 113. That means Derry are into the quarter-final and Clare are eliminated. Up next we have Monaghan versus Donegal in the All-Ireland Championship. Donegal opened the scoring with a point in the first 2 minutes. Donegal finished the half in the lead 9 points to 13. Donegal opened the second half scoring with 2 points 5 minutes in. And the game finishes Monaghan 17 points. Donegal 19 points. So a win for Donegal over Monaghan. Both teams are into the preliminary quarter-final. The final score, Monaghan 17 points, Donegal 19 points. These are the final standings of Group 4 after the weekend. Derry on 5 points, Donegal on 4 points, Monaghan on 3 points, Clare on 0 points. Our first game on Sunday is Antrim vs Carlow in the Telton Cup quarter-final. Carlow opened the scoring with a point in the first 2 minutes. Antrim finished the half in the lead 1-8 to 5 points. Carlow opened the second half scoring with a point 1 minute in. And the game finishes Antrim 119. Carlow 115. So a win for Antrim over Carlow. Antrim are into the semi-final. The final score, Antrim 119, Carlow 115. Up next we have Dublin vs Sligo in the All-Ireland Championship. Dublin opened the scoring with a point in the first 2 minutes. Dublin finished the half in the lead 113 to 4 points. Dublin opened the second half scoring with 2-4, 13 minutes in. And the game finishes Dublin 3-23. Sligo 8 points. So a massive win for Dublin over Sligo. That means Dublin are into the quarter-final and Sligo are eliminated. Final score, Dublin 3-23, Sligo 8 points. Up next we have Roscommon vs Kildare in the All-Ireland Championship. Roscommon opened the scoring with a point in the first minute. Roscommon finished the half in the lead 1-6 to 1-4. Kildare opened the second half scoring with a point 1 minute in. And the game finishes Roscommon 115. Kildare 116. So Kildare with a narrow win over Roscommon. That means both teams are into the preliminary quarter-final. The final score, Roscommon 115, Kildare 116. These are the final standings of Group 3 after the weekend. Dublin on 5 points, Kildare and Roscommon on 3 points, Sligo on 1 point. Up next we have Kerry vs Louth in the All-Ireland Championship. Kerry opened the scoring with a point in the first 3 minutes. Kerry finished the half in the lead 2-15 to 3 points. Kerry opened the second half scoring with 1-5, 14 minutes in. And the game finishes Kerry 5-24. Louth 11 points. So, massive win for Kerry over Louth. That means Kerry are into the quarter-final and Louth are eliminated. Final score, Kerry 5-24, Louth 11 points. Up next we have Cork vs Mayo in the All-Ireland Championship. Mayo opened the scoring with a point in the first 4 minutes. Cork finished the half in the lead 6 points to 5. Mayo opened the second half scoring with 2 points, 6 minutes in. And the game finishes Cork 114. Mayo 111. So a win for Cork over Mayo. That means both teams are into the preliminary quarter-final. Final score, Cork 114, Mayo 111. So these are the final standings in Group 1 after the weekend. Kerry, Cork and Mayo all on 4 points, Louth on 0 points. Up next we have Galway versus Armagh in the All-Ireland Championship. Armagh opened the scoring with a point in the first 2 minutes. Galway finished the half in the lead 1-5 to 6 points. Armagh opened the second half scoring with 3 points 4 minutes in. And the game finishes Galway 1-12. Armagh 16 points. So good win for Armagh. That means they're into the quarter-final and Galway are into the preliminary quarter-final. The final score, Galway 1-12, Armagh 16 points. And our final game of the weekend is Tyrone versus Westmeath in the All-Ireland Championship. Westmeath opened the scoring with a point in the first minute. Westmeath finished the half in the lead 7 points to 8. Tyrone opened the second half scoring with a point 1 minute in. And the game finishes Tyrone 18 point. I seem to have written it down as both teams finishing on 18 points. Gonna have to check that. Oh no, yes, this is a group stage match, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so game finishes Tyrone 18 points, Westmeath 18 points. And because of that, Tyrone are into the preliminary quarterfinal and Westmeath are eliminated. Final score, Tyrone 18 points, Westmeath 18 points. So these are the final standings in Group 2 after the weekend. Armagh and Galway on 4 points, Tyrone on 3 points, Westmeath on 1 point. So there you have it, those are the results of the football over the weekend. Now let's move on to the hurling. Up first we have Offaly versus Tipperary in the All-Ireland preliminary quarter-final. Tipperary opened the scoring with 1-7 in the first 9 minutes. Tipperary finished the half in the lead 1-10 to 3-25. Offaly opened the second half scoring with a point 1 minute in. And the game finishes Offaly 3-18. Tipperary 7-38. So an absolutely enormous victory for Tipperary over Offaly. So Tipper into the quarter-final. Final score, Offaly 3-18, Tipperary 7-38. And our final game of the weekend is Carlow versus Dublin in the All-Ireland preliminary quarter-final. The scoring opens Carlow 3 points, Dublin 3 points in the first 8 minutes. Carlow finished the half in the lead, 13 points to 12. Dublin opened the second half scoring with 3 points 4 minutes in. And the game finishes Carlow 21 points. Dublin 225. So that means Dublin are into the quarter-final. The final score, Carlow 21 points, Dublin 225. So there you have it, those are the results of the hurling and football. Be sure to check out my predictions video for the coming weekend, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share, and I will see you for the next one.